this same t-shirt the last time I made a drone crash video. Team Heart, we have a bad news. By now at this time I should have been in another country riding motorcycles, just like you've seen me do it in Bali in USA last year. This was supposed to be the first trip for 2019, first international motorcycle trip for 2019. But unfortunately we have a bad news. I had to postpone the trip because my drone crashed, or should I say I crashed the drone. I had literally applied for permissions to fly this drone in that country, and sadly we crashed it. It's registered, the permissions are all registered with this one device ID of this drone. Before I show you the damage on this thing, let's talk about how it crashed, and then I'll show you the damage on this thing, and then we will talk about the aftermath of that damage. So I was at this off-road biking event where they invited me as guest, and I was flying this drone. I was capturing absolutely beautiful footages that you'll probably see in the vlog. There were about 3 drones hovering above the racetrack trying to capture the whole event, but no, that's not the reason for the crash. There was a Phantom, there was another Mavic Pro, and there was our Psyduck. Yeah, that's what we call it, right? Psyduck. And no, it did not crash there. Later at the stunt event, I was also flying this at the stunt event, very meticulously flying, got some good footages. And I was going to land the drone in like 1 or 2 minutes later, or even like 30 seconds later. It was just one last round trip I wanted to make, and something happened and I flew my drone into tree. It just flew into the tree like this, hit one of these arms I couldn't see, and then straight down onto the gimbal. Inside this there's a gimbal camera. Straight down onto this, smashed onto its head, onto the gimbal, and it lay there like this, reverse on its belly, spinning all the motors in the dirt. This thing was flying about 2.5 to 3 stories high, and what would happen if something lands straight up, nosedives onto the camera, onto the gimbal. Gimbal is the most expensive part of this drone. Smash. Literally the only reason it looks like the gimbal only has scratches is because of the gimbal's functionality itself. It can move, but it took the damage and it stopped working. And there is a lot of sand inside this because the motors were spinning reverse. There's a lot of sand that has gone, and I actually can hear it roll from this side to that side when the minor damages that you can see are like on the arms. There is a little bit of scratches, scrapes and all, and 1 or 2 of the propellers have completely like broken. You shouldn't be using these propellers anymore, they are like chipped away. But this is least of my concern because propellers I have a couple of more spare. But the gimbal, it needs a repair and I have to send it. The drone will not also fly because of the sand inside it, so I will have to send it for a thorough repair of removing all the sand, fixing my gimbal. And that is what pisses me off a little bit because gimbal is expensive. It's the most expensive part of this whole drone, the whole functionality that the stable shots can come, that the camera can move up and down. Gone it. There is also a lot of sand in all of its joints, and when I connect the phone it also says that this part, the front sensor, is having some issue. The front sensor, not sure if you can see it, but right on the face it took a lot of scars and it did something to the front sensor. So what happens is when you power on your drone and you connect your app, it says gimbal overload, cannot fly, front sensor fogged up, cannot fly, you silly drone user cannot fly, fuck off. So since the crash, I've been trying to find who can repair this for me really fast because I had tickets for the next country. Somebody please repair my drone and bring it back to me urgently. I would have been sitting at the airport in that country to take the flight back to India. But that whole thing had to be delayed. Now I'll have to like repair this and then find flights again. And obviously that's also like a cascade effect, right? That's the aftermath loss. I have to pay more for the tickets, and on top of that I do not know how much it will take to repair this drone. My estimate was around 30,000 bucks, because it's like I don't know what's the price of Mavic Pro right now in India, but when this was bought, this was about 1.5 lakhs. Of course, I bought the whole combo kit and all, extra 2 batteries and all, but I'm still sure that the parts are still very expensive, because you have to import that single part, and this part being the main part. So I will see for another maybe like 10 days if I can get this repaired. I will be booking tickets to the next country, and I'll probably post another video saying where is HPV next, guess and win the giveaway. Yes, that will come, but am I going with the drone or without the drone is, I mean, can you imagine that I flew this drone into crater of a volcano, literally an active volcano. And I still brought it back. I can fly this thing with so much precision that it can go this close to objects and still not crash, like this close. You don't even see that, right? But okay, let me just show you. This close to objects and I still won't crash it. It feels super silly to have it crash on the basketball court, and that too not hitting the basketball net. It just hit a tree outside the perimeter of the basketball court. That just, alright, so that's the update on the drone. I'll let you know what happens when I send it to repair. I will update you on that and the next trip that is coming up. But I have something to say. If your friends, like if your friends have drones and if they are flying, it's just an advice for anybody randomly, that if your friend is like, let's just say he's just flying here, okay, give him the vision, all this vision, okay. Try not to stand here or here. This is an advice to all the, I'm pretty sure like a lot of people are buying drones, and some of your friends might have drones, and just make sure you're not standing here. Try to be just outside the 180 degrees vision. And also it is nice to not have backseat flying. If you guys understand backseat driving, then you understand what backseat flying is.